of the dining huts, where they found Hilda preparing breakfast. Hilda was strong-shouldered and tall. She always had her sleeves rolled up. She smiled at Mira and Flameteller as they entered the dining hut. "You're up early, my loves," she said. "I couldn't sleep," said Mira. "It's wheel day. We're off to see the riven wheel." Flameteller clicked his wings. "It's the biggest water wheel in the world. It might be the biggest machine in the world. Mira's told me all about it." "We thought we'd come and help with breakfast," said Mira. "Nobody else is awake yet. Why would anyone sleep in on wheel day?" "It's a mystery," said Hilda, smiling. "Well, some help would be lovely. Come on in, but wash your hands and face. Mira, you're covered in grease as usual." Mira laughed and washed at the water pump, peering at her reflection in the hut window. Hilda was right. Mira's long black hair was tied into a ponytail with a greasy rag. Her soft brown skin was covered with streaks of black. Mira loved tinkering with machinery and somehow always came away with grease marks on her skin and clothes. She went into the hut and helped Hilda get breakfast together. Even though he was small for a dragon, Flameteller was too large to fit in the hut, so Mira opened the window and he stuck his head through. The other children eventually wandered over. They yawned as Hilda and Mira served them breakfast. Then there was clearing away and dishes, and finally, the others started getting ready. Mira was bursting with impatience. At last they stood with their dragons in a semicircle around Lady Burren, Chancellor of the Dragonseer Guild. Every dragon was different. That was one of the first things Mira had learned when she joined the Dragonseer Guild. She remembered the first time she saw the guild hall. "The world of dragons is not like ours," Burren had told her. "It is a world of ideas. When a dragon first steps into our world, they find their form, and that depends on the dragonseer who summons them. They are your dragon, and you are their human." And just as every dragon was unique, so was their power, the special magic that they and only they could do. Some had discovered their powers already. The dragon that Tom summoned was Ironskin, a large, powerful creature the color of flames and hammered iron. She could create a shield to protect others. Ellis's stumpy green dragon, Pathseeker, was clever and practical. She could see through illusions. Kara's dragon, Silver Thief, could turn invisible for a while. Others were still figuring out their powers, like Flameteller. Mira knew that Kai and his white and red dragon, Bone Shadow, and Connor and Light Spirit were still waiting to find out their powers. Poor Erin was still getting the hang of summoning and needed help to bring her enormous dragon, Rockhammer, into the human world. "Is everyone ready for our trip?" asked Burn. Mira and Flameteller nodded vigorously, and the others laughed. Burn smiled. "Well, Mira, why don't you lead the way?" Mira grinned and set off toward the doors at the far end of the hall. As she reached them, Flameteller said, "Time for me to go." Mira nodded and gently bumped heads with her dragon. Then Flameteller faded from sight. Around her, the other children smiled and waved to their own dragons, too, as each one disappeared. "Flame?" whispered Mira. "Hello," came Flameteller's voice in her head, and Mira smiled. They left the hall and walked along the twisting passageways that led out to the city. These were the clockwork corridors, and Mira loved them. They were part of the protections of the guild.